I'm Luis Rueda from Caracol TV Colombia. Mr. Adam Wimber, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for this time.
Thanks for talking to me. I'm excited to converse with you about Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, I enjoyed so much the movie, and I have to say this is a movie, a special movie with a lot of sequence with a special effect in CGI. I think the digital artists are really genius. The work his work in this movie is so special. Tell me about that work.
Well, like one of the biggest draws for me in terms of making this film was to, really kind of sink into the reality of creating a fully realized world where the monsters are the POV. Like having made Godzilla versus Kong, I learned all these skills as a director that you really can't apply to any other type of movie than a giant monster film. So I knew by the end of that production that there was unfinished business for me, and I was excited to take everything I had learned and turn it up a notch and really immerse myself even more into the what is possible within making films where with all these digital characters.
Yeah, in the previous movie we have the Team Kong and the Team Godzilla, but now we have one team. I think the Team Kongzilla, maybe.
That's got a good ring to it. Yeah, I mean, and the last film, it was all about as you said, it was about the battle, the verses, and but whenever we made that film, there's a brief moment where Godzilla and Kong work together, and seeing how responsive audiences were to that became the total drive and thrust forward in terms of the approach of making this movie. We knew we wanted to get into that team up, and what makes them fun as characters is that they still have their animal instincts, and I think Godzilla and Kong have a bit of an ego on both of them. And so them teaming up, I took a lot of inspiration from buddy cop films from the 80s and movies like They Live, where you got the best sequences in the film are hero on hero fighting each other for long periods of time, and based on a misunderstanding, really. And we paid direct homage to that in this. And so those are sort of the influences that I took, and and it's what made it so fun to work with them as these characters.
Yeah, and obvious we have two iconic titans in this movie, but in this movie we see new creatures of the Titanus dog and the baby Kong and the evil Kong. Tell me about these characters.
Yeah, like I mean, one of the things that excites me the most is really the possibility that 20, 30 years from now, maybe people will be remaking these films with these characters, because it was such an exciting thing to be able to not just be able to depict Titans that that we're familiar with and we love, but to be able to develop new ones. And when it came to developing, for instance, the Scar King, he's a really cool villain because he's almost able to do certain things that usually you have to rely on a human character to do. I mean, traditionally these movies have been about man versus nature or humans versus nature, and all the problems that we usually cause in the monster world, and either the monster has to fix it or they're directly affected by it. But with a character like Scar King, him being this giant ape, it allowed us to still explore those kind of themes, but it allowed us to do it on the monster level, because he himself is he has the same drives and he would cause the same problems that a human would. He's unlike another character like Ghidorah, for instance, who's very kind of instinctually driven. Scar King is making choices, and he's making evil choices, and that's what makes him such a compelling villain. And usually that's reserved for us, the humans.
Yeah, Mr. Adam, well, thank you so much for this time for Corona Television. Godzilla running. Wow. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.